Part 37. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 361. Chapter 361, can be used for a long time. 3 more please customize. Crackling. The flames on the fire pit were booming, and there were a lot of medicinal materials in an iron pot on the fire pit. The iron pot was also opened from the system, and Subai used it to boil the ointment directly. But I followed the step-by-step instructions in the herbal medicine making book, first soaking the herbs. Then some impurities were removed, and finally it was put into an iron pot to cook. The herbs that were mashed at the beginning were also put in and boiled together. This step is to boil all the herbs into a paste. Because only the paste can last longer and is more convenient to use and store. When the time comes, just scoop out a little bit with a small spoon and apply it where you want to apply it. In this way, there is no need to mess with the herbs at any time and then apply the herbs on them. This step is too cumbersome. If you are accidentally injured by a wild animal in the wild and cannot walk, how will you pick herbs? In addition, the witch bone tiles on my body have been used up. Doesn't this make things worse? If you can carry a herbal medicine with you, just take it out and apply some when you are injured, so that you can still wait until your teammates come to rescue you. And it will be very convenient for the tribesmen to use it. They only need to go to the hospital to get the ointment. Whether it's a cold or a bruise, you can use ointment, which is convenient and quick. Wow, the smell of these herbs is so strong. Yu Ying pinched her nose and made a strong nasal sound. She originally thought that the smell of not mashing and not boiling was bad enough, but the fact was that she was too naive. The smell of boiling made her even more uncomfortable. The pink fox's tail drooped. Ha ha ha, Subai smiled heartily and continued, I think this smells pretty good. In fact, the taste of these herbal medicines is exactly the same as the taste of Chinese herbal medicines on the other side of the earth. Subai also smelled this smell a lot on earth, and he actually liked it quite a bit. Because every time he smells this smell, it makes him feel refreshed and quite comfortable. Really, Yu Ying had an incredible look on her face. Then she tentatively loosened the hand holding her nose and tried to smell the smell. Her delicate nose was blown several times, but her eyes were closed tightly. Tight. In less than a minute, the girl pinched her nose again, but the expression on her face was still indescribable. No, the smell is still too bad. Yu Ying still showed a very resistant look. Come on, put this on. Subai took out a mask for the girl. He also understood that after all, not everyone likes the smell of Chinese herbal medicine for the first time. But as long as you smell it for a long time and come into contact with it more often, you will naturally get better. I like it. Yu Ying put on a mask, but she still didn't dare to breathe through her nose. She still breathed through her mouth. It doesn't matter, just breathe through your nose, the smell will definitely be reduced a lot. Subai was amused by the girl's cute appearance. Yu Ying looked unconvinced, but still followed the instructions and breathed slowly through her nose. She blinked her pink eyes in surprise and said, Woo, the taste is really starting to fade. If you don't like it in the future, just wear a mask so that you can smell less of it, Subai said softly. This mask is similar to the one worn by Uncle Gumu, but ours looks a little smaller. Yu Ying asked curiously. The mask he wore was made of animal skin, and the isolation effect was not as good as ours, Subai said. Thinking of this, he planned to have some masks sent to him tomorrow, and some to Shan Shan. After all, the environment where they both work is quite dusty. If one person inhales too much dust is bad for the lungs. Woo, what will these ointments look like when they are boiled? Yu Ying asked curiously. The girl was very curious. Can these boiled plants really be used to treat diseases? The boiled juices are all green, which makes people look scary. You'll know when it's finished, Subai said mysteriously. Instead of explaining so much verbally now, it would be better to let the girl see the finished product directly. Yu Ying nodded expectantly. What Hu Niang likes most is to watch Wu make something new every time, for no other reason, because it can make people's eyes shine every time. Whether it is in the classroom or the toilet at the beginning, or painazetum, paper, quills, weapons, etc. Everything is amazing, and those materials are all used by them every day. I didn't expect that through the hands of the witch, they can be turned into good things that are of great use to the tribe. It's a bit shocking. Wow. Rumble. 3 or 4 hours later, the sky became darker and darker, and it continued to rain heavily outside the house, and thunder continued. But the room looked like it had been peaceful for years. Sudbai and Fox-eared Lady were sitting by the fire pit. It was as if the heavy rain outside the window had nothing to do with them. All they could see was the pot of herbs on the fire pit. Woo, I think I'm starting to like the smell. Yu Ying shook her fox ears. It will taste even better after it is made into ointment, Sudbai said with a smile. He was afraid that if he took down the pot of herbs on the fire pit, the people would be in a liquid state, but it would slowly turn into a paste. He followed the steps in the herbal medicine making book and added the ointments were all put into small clay pots. In sequence, he filled several clay pots until he had filled all the ointments in the pot. Okay, let's smell it and see if it feels better. Sudbai handed over a clay pot. The fox-eared lady took the clay pot, took a deep breath, and then the fan's eyes widened. It smells much better. Yu Ying nodded heavily and asked Wu, has this ointment been made? Well, this ointment has been made. When you want to use it, just scoop out a little and use it. Sudbai nodded. The ointment he made is specially designed to treat itchy skin, which can be wiped off when bitten by mosquitoes or other bugs. Wu, how long does this ointment last? Yu Ying looked at the small clay pot and thought it was very small. Just use a little amount each time and it will last a long time, Sudbai explained. Seeing the girl's expression, of course he knew what the other party was thinking. He thought that this small clay pot would be gone after just 2 uses. I see. Yu Ying nodded and said. Third update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 362. Chapter 362, The Addicted Fox-eared Girl. 4 more please customize. Because if you are bitten by a mosquito, you only need a little bit, not too much, Sudbai explained. I understand, although this small clay pot does not look very big, there is indeed a lot of stuff in it. If you only use a little bit at a time, it can last a long time, Yu Ying said with sudden realization. That's right, and with so many jars, it lasts a long time, Sudbai nodded and said. Of course, the long period of time he mentioned was definitely not 1 or 2 months. After all, there are so many people in the tribe. And it is a primitive tribe. Mosquitoes are inevitable, and every household must they have to prepare some. So the quantity to be prepared will definitely be a lot, because each household will have to share some. However, Sudbai will definitely not cook it for them personally, because the quantity is very large. Definitely. You can first teach the people you trained before, and then let them cook, and you can save a lot of time. Wu, you taught so many people last time, will they also learn to cook these things in the future? Yu Ying asked curiously. In fact, Fox-eared Lady wanted to try boiling some herbs because she thought it was so interesting. They were originally strange plants, but after being boiled on the fire pit for a while, they would become. It comes in the form of a paste in a clay pot, which is as magical as witchcraft. Well, they are mainly responsible for these tasks, and they also need to learn some medical knowledge. Sudbai nodded. Yu Ying tilted her head and asked after hearing the new vocabulary what is medical knowledge? Just some common sense, such as what to do if you catch a cold. What should I do if I have a fever? What should you do if you are bitten by a venomous snake? Such common sense, Sudbai said simply. But Wu, these chiefs have taught you this before. If you teach it again, it will be a waste of time. Yu Ying was worried that Wu would have to do repetitive work. What he taught was only one-sided, and what I taught was more detailed. You must know that sometimes details determine success or failure, Subai said seriously. He didn't think what the chief taught was bad, but compared with the common sense of people in primitive times and the common sense of modern people on Earth, the latter is definitely better. Of course, people in primitive times also have a unique set of methods, but this method is not suitable for everyone. Moreover, the cure rate cannot reach 100%, so Subai wants to increase the cure rate. The knowledge he taught is relatively subtle, it can take care of many aspects, because sometimes if you don't do the details well, all your efforts will be wasted. I know that success or failure is determined by the details. Yu Ying nodded heavily. She often heard Wu say this. Of course, she also agreed very much. After all, it was like this many times, just like when she was sewing linen clothes. Sometimes she would, if two pieces of fabric are sewn incorrectly, the entire garment will look unsightly. Do you also want to try it yourself? Subai saw that the fox-eared girl was eager to try. Yu Ying nodded without hesitation and said in a soft and cute voice, yeah, I want to give it a try. Okay, then just follow the steps I told you, don't be anxious and take your time, Subai said gently. He would not dampen the girl's enthusiasm. Since the other party wants to try it, let her try it. Anyway, as long as the ointment made by himself is not bad, as long as the other party wants to try it, just go slower. Yes, Yu Ying nodded. Fox-eared lady began to follow the witch's instructions, first classifying the herbs, and then putting them all into the iron pot. Then she slowly added some wood into the fire pan to ensure that the flames burned brighter. Crackling. Wow. Rumble. The sound of burning firewood blends with the sound of rain outside the window and the sound of thunder, and they complement each other perfectly. Wu, is this okay? Yu Ying asked curiously. The fox-eared lady had put all the herbs into the iron pot according to the instructions, and the flame was still burning. Originally, the iron pot was filled with clean water, but as the fire burned, it became more and more intense. Wang, those herbs were slowly boiled into green juice. After being boiled, the opportunity of those herbs also spread out. In an instant, the whole room was filled with the smell of herbs. Looks like we're going to sleep with the smell of herbs tonight, Subai said jokingly. It didn't matter to him. After all, he also liked the smell and would feel more comfortable when he fell asleep smelling it. I can accept this taste too, Yu Ying said with a smile. After smelling the herbal smell for a night, the girl began to slowly accept it and like the smell. She also felt that the smell was very good. After smelling it for a long time, her head was now of clarity. Just take the iron pot off the fire pit and put the paste into the clay pot, Subai ordered. Yes, Yu Ying nodded and took down the iron pot as instructed. Half an hour later, fox-ear girl put all the paste into clay pots, a total of 5 pots. Okay, that's it for tonight. It's getting late. Let's rest first and continue tomorrow, Subai said softly. Wu, there are still a lot of herbs, why don't you boil them now? Yu Ying is a little addicted. It's already very late now. If you continue cooking, you won't have to sleep tonight, Subai smiled. He really admired the girl. She had gone to bed at this time before, but she didn't expect to stay up so late tonight. Okay, then I'll get up early tomorrow morning and start, Yu Ying said with a smile. Well, the most important thing is that you have a good rest tonight, Subai said gently. Yes, Yu Ying nodded heavily. Fourth update, please support and customize. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 363. Chapter 363, Rain Snake. One more, please customize. Wow. On the periphery of the Yanlong tribe, the preparatory warriors gathered together again. This was their second day of training. After they finished training yesterday, the top 3 received rewards and had a night's rest. Yesterday I was training on the accuracy of the bone needles, but today I was training on not only accuracy but also strength. In other words, they have to use spears, and it is not easy to use spears in the rain. In addition to testing the accuracy of the eyes, it also tests the person's ability to project the spear. Today, the top 3 will still receive rewards. Of course, those at the bottom will also be punished. Yan Jiao said seriously. Yes, the preparatory soldiers responded in unison. Everyone's expression was very serious, because many people failed yesterday and wanted to regain face today. But Yan Hua's expression was more serious, nothing else. Because she won first place yesterday. So today she is bound to sprint towards the goal of first place. She will never admit defeat in these aspects. Xia Yan's expression is also very serious. Yesterday she almost won. We are in the top 3, so we will work harder. Let's work together today. Yan Hua said seriously. Shalan nodded seriously and responded, today is my strong point, I will definitely not lose. Mao Er Niang also did very well last year in shooting the ice spear, and she also got the top 3 results. Don't go too far after entering the forest. Your target is the rain snake that only comes out in the rainy season. Yan Jiao said seriously. Clear, the prepared soldiers responded again. Don't be careless. The attack power of the rain snake is also very strong. Don't be bitten. If you are bitten, seek help from the totem warrior in time. Yan Jiao warned. For example, some warriors were bitten by rain snakes before. Although this beast is not poisonous, the bite is still very painful, and even the flesh will fall off, so it is better not to take it lightly. Was bitten. And this creature is not small at all, more than 1 meter long, and as thick as an adult's wrist. Good, the reserve warriors responded in unison. They also experienced the rain snake last year. Naturally they knew the danger of this creature, so they needed to use spears. When the reserve warriors went to the forest to train, the totem warriors had to know how to just watch secretly in the dark. Go ahead. Yan Jiao waved his hand and said. Yes, the preparatory soldiers turned around and started walking towards the forest. Tap tap tap. Wow. Rumble. The preparatory soldiers ran into the forest against the rain, all wearing raincoats. However, the raincoat will also hinder the actual training, but it will test the agility of the preparatory soldiers. This year was the first time they trained wearing raincoats, which they had never had before. But it's good to have a raincoat. In the past, we trained in the rain, and the falling rain often blinded the soldiers' eyes. Their hair will also be waterlogged by the rain. If they are girls, it will be more troublesome, because their long hair will directly cover their eyes. When they reach out to wipe the rain off their faces, it will also hinder their performance. But now with the raincoat, all these problems have been solved, and the body will not be too uncomfortable. Moreover, the straw hat can block the rain and will not make the eyes blurry. Ahwa, let's stay in the same area today so we can take care of each other. Shalan suggested. Completely fine, Yan Hua responded with a smile. The horn lady doesn't mind, and she wishes she had someone to accompany her, so that she wouldn't be too bored. Besides, it would be safer in the forest. No one knows what will happen in the next second. What's more, with the arrival of the rainy season, many strange creatures will appear, and they are no more dangerous than ordinary wild beasts. Once some ferocious beasts appear, they will even represent the occurrence of very bad weather. Then I need more care from you. Shalan joked. Ha ha ha, don't come here, I need your care today. Yan Hua was amused. It was not for any other reason, because the cat-eared girl was still very good, and the opponent's spear throwing was also very good. The two walked into the forest while talking and laughing, and the heavy rain on their heads hurt them. It doesn't have any impact at all. Tap tap tap. When Yanhua walked on the wet land, the green grass was stepped on and fell down. However, after walking through, the green grass stood up again. She scanned the surroundings vigilantly and said seriously, "Alan, be careful." "Yeah, so are you." Shalan has already put one hand behind her back, ready to throw a spear at any time. Each of them carries a dozen spears on their backs. The length is not very long, and the thickness is not very thick, but it is quite sharp. Hiss hiss. Yanhua heard Snake Zinza's voice and immediately reached out and pulled out a spear from behind. She lowered her red eyes and said seriously, "Alan, my target is here." "Mine too." Shalan has already held a spear in her hand. The cat-eared girl's blue eyes have been staring to the right, and she has long felt the movement there. Yanhua stepped up to the branch, holding the spear high. She stood there, just waiting for the target to appear. Her eyes were very sharp and she said seriously, "Alan, let's compete and see who of the two of us can catch more." "Okay, no questions asked," Shalan said confidently, and also jumped onto the branch. Rustling. As the rain becomes heavier and heavier, the rustling in the grass becomes louder and louder, and the rain snake is ready to move out. The rain snake is one of the creatures that only comes out during the rainy season, and its overall color is light blue. This creature is not poisonous, but it has two long fangs and is very strong. As long as you are entangled with it for less than a minute, your bones will be crushed to pieces, but at the same time, your life will not be taken away immediately. In short, as long as you are entangled by the rain snake, your life will slowly dry up. This feeling of excruciating pain would be more satisfying than giving you a knife directly. "I see you." Yanhua smiled slightly and saw the rain snake sticking out its head. "Call out." Yanhua threw the spear in her hand hard, and there was a sound of breaking through the air. The spear was nailed directly on the rain snake's head. But the horned lady did not stop the spear in her hand and continued to draw out the spear. The second one was projected out. "Call out." After the sound of breaking the sky ended, the head of another rain snake was also nailed with a spear. "Very good," Yanhua said with a happy smile. When the horned lady saw the first rain snake, she saw the second one. Although it only had a tail, she captured the opponent's head very accurately, so she immediately pulled out the second long rain snake. Spear. Please update for support and customization. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 364. Chapter 364, Dangerous Moment. 2 more requests for customization. Yanhua jumped from the branch to the ground with a backflip, and went to pick up the 2 rain snakes on time. It is difficult to harvest 2 rain snakes at once because rain snakes are not social animals. They all act alone, so being able to catch 2 at once is pretty impressive. They must have come out to find food, Yanhua murmured to herself. But in fact, the 2 snakes came out to mate. The rainy season is also the season when the rain snakes are in estrus. At this time, they often look for their other half and then complete their once-a-year thing. Anyway, I'm so lucky to have 2 at once, Yanhua said happily. The horned lady put away the 2 spears, and then put the dead rain snake into the wooden basket she carried with her. "Alan, I caught 2. Yanhua said happily, trotting all the way to the cat-eared girl. "I just caught one, and it was still small." Shalan raised the little rain snake in his hand. The rain snake didn't look big at all. It was much smaller than the normal-sized rain snake. It looked like a small rain snake. Anyway, it's based on quantity, not size. It would be great if you can catch them, Yanhua consoled her. "That's right, I'll go over there and have a look." Shalan packed up the rain snake, turned around and left. Tap tap tap. Yanhua nodded, holding the spear at the ready, because the rain snake was not a docile creature. They will actively attack humans, so be careful, otherwise you may be attacked from behind. She held the spear and kept scanning the surroundings, not daring to slack off at all. Hiss hiss. Suddenly a rain snake sprang out from a tree, spitting out snake letters, and stared closely at the horned lady under the tree. Its body slid silently along the tree trunk, and the blue skin on its body made no sound as it slid. And its huge winding power allows it to stay firmly on the tree trunk without falling off. When it was approaching the horned lady, it suddenly twisted its body, its front half coiled back, and turned into a S-type. The rain snake began to aim at the horned lady, like an arrow from its string, opening its mouth and preparing to bite the horned lady's back. Yanhua had already noticed the rain snake, and the reason why she never turned around was because she didn't want to scare the snake. Just when the rain snake rushed over, the horn girl turned sideways and perfectly avoided the sneak attack. She clenched the spear in her hand and charged up the force to knock the rushing rain snake to the ground. Then she turned the direction of the spear and inserted the sharp end 7 inches into the rain snake. When Niujiao Niang and others entered the forest, Yan Jiao gave them some science knowledge. When dealing with the rain snake, you must hit Kikan, so that the opponent will have no room for resistance. The method of hitting a snake 7 inches is known to all primitive tribesmen, and it is not difficult knowledge. Still want to sneak attack on me? Yanhua raised the corners of her mouth slightly, bent down, and picked up the spear. She took off the rain snake nailed to the spear, looked at it and put it into the wooden basket. This was the third snake caught by the horned lady. Snakes, it can be said that it is very easy, there are 3 at once. The primitive forest is like this, you must be vigilant at all times, otherwise sometimes you will die without knowing how. So the people in the tribe will not let people enter easily in the forest. If you don't have the strength, you will just die. I don't know what's going on with Alan, Yanhua murmured to herself. She shook off the blood on her spear and continued walking forward. At this time, the most important thing is to capture more rain snakes. Tap tap tap. Yanhua shook off the rain on her forehead, her red eyes widened, for fear of missing something. She clenched the spear in her hand tightly and said, I don't know how many others have caught, but it shouldn't be easy to catch, right? Rain snakes are not as numerous as soil bugs and tree cicadas, and they all live alone. Animals, so it's hard to catch a lot at once like yesterday. She was a little worried about whether she would be surpassed by others this time. She got first place yesterday, and she definitely wanted to get first place today. But it may be a bit difficult. Apart from the small number of rain snakes, the most important thing is that the opponent's whereabouts are very secretive and difficult to catch. If the lance had not been projected accurately, the rain snake would often run away. The rain snake's agility was very high. If the spear thrown by I does not nail the rain snake, the opponent will jump up along with the spear. Tap tap tap. Yanhua continued to walk into the forest, wanting to see if there would be more rain snakes in the forest. Rain snakes prefer moist and quiet places. There were tribes in the place where the horned lady was before, so there were relatively few rain snakes. Where will it be? Yanhua murmured to herself. Rustling. There is movement. Yanhua suddenly shouted, the spear in his hand was already ready. A rain snake as thick as an adult's calf crawled out from the bushes, spitting out snake bites, looking very chilling. What a big one! Yanhua was stunned. This was the first time she had seen such a big rain snake. The largest one she had seen before was only as thick as an arm, but this was the first time she had seen such a big rain snake. The horn girl frowned and felt it seemed that things were not that simple. She unconsciously clenched the spear in her hand tightly. It looks like it's going to be a tough fight. Yanhua was all ignited. The horned lady was not scared because she saw such a big snake for the first time, but she was even more excited. For no other reason than that she wanted to express herself well. If she could succeed, if you win it, it means that your strength is not bad. And it can be recognized by the tribesmen. After all, the rain snake is a relatively difficult opponent for the preparatory warriors. Yanhua raised the spear in his hand, ready to aim at the huge rain snake. The rain snake also started to raise its upper body and looked like it was attacking. Call out. The sound of breaking through the air sounded, and the horned lady threw the spear out, aiming straight at the huge rain snake. Benedict. The spear failed. Instead of nailing the rain snake, it was nailed directly to the ground diagonally. Hiss hiss. The rain snake spit out the snake letter and rolled it up directly along the spear. It used its tail to jump up directly. Damn it, it was avoided. Yanhua also immediately dodged rain snake's advance, and swung the spear with his left hand at the opponent. Rain snake also felt the danger, and once again used the projected spear to roll up and fall to the ground. Hiss hiss. Wow. Snake Shinko's voice merged with the sound of rain, and Horn Girl frowned and faced Rain Snake. Second update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 365. Chapter 365, Fighting. 3 more please customize. Wow. The rain kept falling from the sky without any sign of slowing down, and in the rain curtain, the Horn Girl was still confronting the rain snake. After the first round of confrontation between one person and one snake, they have been in the current state. Neither side dares to act rashly. Looks like I've met a tough guy. Yanhua continued to draw out 2 spears from her back. She was already thinking about it, thinking about getting rid of the rain snake with the 8th or 9th spear. After all, she was carrying a spear. There are not many, and you cannot use them all on this snake. If other snakes appear at the same time as you have just dealt with it, it may be a bit difficult. So you must save a few spears no matter what, just in case. When necessary, 2 spears have been projected, and there are still 10 spears left in total. Originally, the Horned Lady thought that 3 or 4 spears would be enough to deal with it, but she did not expect that the opponent would be so difficult. Hiss hiss. The rain snake was ready to launch a second round of attacks, and the snake letter in its mouth kept spitting out. The slender blue tail has been wagging, as if it will charge up in the next second. It stretched its body high, looking like a soldier ready to go. Yanhua didn't show any weakness on her side either. The 2 spears in her hands were tightly clenched, one of which was still turning. Her red eyes were also full of seriousness, and her steps were moving little by little, ready to meet at any time. Hiss hiss. After one sequence, the rain snake rushed straight towards the Horned Girl, its mouth wide open. Yanhua lowered her eyebrows, as if she had seen through all this, and deliberately pretended to project the long hair in her hand, but she kept it in her hand. The rain snake is a very smart creature. At first, it thought that the Horned Lady was going to project its long hair over it, so it turned its body in the air in an attempt to avoid the incoming spear. The Horned Lady also expected that the opponent would dodge, so she did not project the spear in her hand, but held it tightly in her hand. She made a perfect turn to avoid the rain snake's attack, and then projected the spear in her left hand. Of course, the rain snake was able to avoid it the first time, and it can also avoid it the second time. But this is not the only thing Yanhua calculated. After the spear in his left hand was projected, the spear in the other hand was also projected out. Rain Snake was only focused on the first spear and did not notice the second spear. So the second spear pierced its head directly, and it fell to the ground and kept twitching. You can calculate, and so can I. The corners of Yanhua's mouth raised slightly. She walked slowly to the side of Rain Snake. In order to ensure that the other party was pretending to be dead, she deliberately picked up the spear that was thrown out and gave another blow to the 7-inch spot. She put that a rain snake with thick legs was put into the mallow, with a look of satisfaction on its face. You know that being able to hunt such a big rain snake will impress the people of the tribe. Although this kind of rain snake is not very strong, it's a wild beast, but it's very strong for pre-soldiers. I don't know how Alan is doing. Go find her and tell her the good news, Yanhua said happily. Girls are like this. Every time there is good news, they want to be the first to share it with their good friends. Tap tap tap. Yanhua kept jumping quickly on the branches with light steps, because the chance of finding it was higher. If you just move forward on the ground, the space you can see is limited, but the place you can see on the branches is farther away. And maybe you can catch some rain snakes on the way to find the cat-eared girl. After all, they are still in the competition. She must have caught a lot of them. After all, projecting lances is her advantage, Yanhua murmured to herself. Cat-eared girl's ability to project ice spears is one of the best in the tribe, and even the reserve warriors have a hard time matching her. What she pursues is not strength, but accuracy and strength. Almost a single shot of the spear can accurately kill the beast. Tap tap tap. Half an hour later, the horned lady collected 2 rain snakes on the road, and then found the cat-eared lady on the other side of the forest. Alan, how are you doing over there? Yanhua kept waving her hand. Shalan turned his head at the sound and waved as well. I've caught 10 of them. The cat-eared girl's performance can be said to be very impressive. All the rain snakes she sees can't run away. Even those that are well hidden can't run away as long as a little bit of their tail is exposed. Yanhua opened her eyes wide in surprise. With his red eyes, he praised, "Oh my God, you are so awesome." This amount was not unexpected to her. It was expected that the cat-eared girl could catch so many. As for you, you should have caught quite a few, right? Shalan also cast an expectant look. Yanhua waved his hand and said, "I haven't caught as many as you. There are only 6 in total. I want you to catch 4 shat." Lan leaned her head to look at the horned mother's wooden basket, but unexpectedly discovered the rain snake with thick calves. She raised her head in disbelief and asked, "Where did you find such a big one?" Although she said she had caught 10 of them, they were all of a decent size, even a little on the small side. This was the first time she had seen a rain snake as big as a horned lady, and she was a little shocked. He was caught not far away from there. This guy is very vicious. Yanhua pointed in the direction of the rain snake she had caught. Now that she recalled the scene just now, she still felt a little excited. She really wished that the scene could be shown every day. The horn girl didn't feel scared, because in addition to exercising herself, you can also get prey. Besides, there are also tribal totem warriors watching secretly, so there is a high probability that there will be no problem. This one of yours is 5 or 6 better than mine. Ahwa, you are really amazing, Shalan praised sincerely. Of course I feel very happy to see my good friends so powerful. At the same time, I also hope that I can become even more powerful. Is it more powerful than you? They overwhelmed me in terms of numbers. Yanhua's fighting spirit has been aroused. Although the hope of competing for the first place is not very high, after all, the cat-eared girl is here, but she still wants to compete for it. Then let's keep working hard together. It's still very early before the deadline, and we don't know who will be first. Shalan encouraged. Okay, then the 2 of us will work hard to be number 1. Yanhua said seriously. Wish I could catch a rain snake this big too. Shalan said with a slight smile. Third update, please support and customize. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 366. Chapter 366, Wrong Words. One more request for customization. Subai stood in front of the floor-to-ceiling window and looked at the patter of rain outside, and Nanan said it feels like nothing has changed much except for the rain. Life in the tribe is still going on as usual, preparation soldiers should still be training. There are also people in the tribe who go out holding umbrellas, or visit other people's homes. The cement houses in the tribe stood out in the rain, and the wooden houses suddenly became much smaller. Wu, breakfast is ready. Yu Ying brought out 2 bowls of panesedum noodles from the kitchen. There were also some minced meat and vegetables on top. These vegetables are sweet potato leaves. Sweet potato leaves are also a delicacy on the other side of the earth and are loved by everyone. Love it? But the fox-eared lady was still a little confused when she heard the word kitchen at first. This word sounds so complicated. Subai turned around and walked to the table to sit down and asked Xiao, during the rainy season you guys, has it always been like this? Yu Ying tilted her head and said doubtfully, Wu, I don't understand, what do you mean it's always been like this? The fox-eared girl's pink eyes kept blinking, and she could be said to be confused. Do you do this every day during the rainy season? After eating and sleeping, and after sleeping and eating, nothing happened in the tribe, Subai continued to ask. He thought this was different from what they said. Didn't they say that the rainy season was bad before? But now it seems that the tribe is no different from before. The only difference is that there are more umbrellas and food. There are too many things. Those are the things arranged by the chief and others. They need to go to the river embankment to guard against the ferocious beasts, and then go outside the tribe to see the ferocious beasts. The rest of the time is spent on training, Yu Ying said softly. Go to the river to protect yourself from ferocious beasts. Subai raised his eyebrows slightly and said, I have never heard of this before. Yes, during the rainy season, the water on the river will get higher and higher, and then the ferocious beasts in the river will take the opportunity to climb ashore, or do other things. Yu Ying nodded. Although the fox-eared lady knew this, she had never seen it, because every time the rainy season came, she would hide in the wooden house. Subai nodded thoughtfully, and when the rainy season came, it's not surprising that many kinds of creatures would appear. He ate a noodle and continued to ask, how long will Ahwa and Alan have to train? In the past 2 days, they have followed the reserve soldiers into the forest for training. They thought they could rest when the rainy season came. Unexpectedly, the primitive tribes were still very diligent, and they would not miss training even if the rainy season came. Just the first few days, because they will also go to the river to help in the next few days, Yu Ying said. I see. Subai knew that if it rains again, the river water will rise accordingly. What happened to Wu? Why are you asking these questions all of a sudden? Yu Ying asked curiously. Subai shook his head and said, it's nothing, I'm just curious and want to know what everyone is doing during the rainy season. Wasn't this what the tribes before the witches were like? Is everyone busy? Yu Ying asked curiously. She forgot to eat the noodles she was holding. She looked at the other party curiously, expecting to get an answer. Where I lived before. Subai smiled slightly and said, even if it rains there, it won't affect our lives. We will still do what we have to do. Were there many people living in the tribe before the witch? There must be a lot, right? Yu Ying really wants to know things other than the tribe. Yes, there are many, so many that you can't even count how many there are. Subai smiled lightly. Yu Ying's pink foxtail kept wagging, and the expression on her face was full of longing. She blinked her eyes and asked, which, will our tribe also become like this? Subai put his face on the table, thought for a moment and said, yes, but it will take time. Yu Ying nodded heavily, with a look of expectation on her face. In fact, she really wanted to see the place where Wu lived before. She didn't know what that place would be like, but it should be nice to go, right? Otherwise, how can she be so smart? The most important thing is why she is so good looking. Her delicate face, tall height, and nice voice are all fascinating. Eat quickly, your noodles are almost lumpy, Subai urged. If she doesn't hurry, fox-eared lady may forget to eat. Yu Ying nodded, took 2 mouthfuls of noodles and continued, Wu, Alan asked me to tell you, the workers who weave linen and paper. Also recruited. In the past 2 days, because the cat-eared lady went out early and came back late, She didn't have time to see Subai. So I asked the fox-eared lady to convey it on her behalf, otherwise she would have to wait for 2 days. How many people were recruited in total? Subai asked. Yu Ying blinked her pink eyes and thought, and said we have recruited 6 people to weave linen, and there will be more people to make paper. We have recruited 12. How do you remember this? Subai raised his eyebrows slightly and asked curiously. After all, the memory of the fox-eared girl is not as good as that of the cat-eared girl. Yu Ying took out a crumpled wolf's tail paper from the pocket of her linen clothes. She spread the paper and handed it over. Said I wrote them down so that I wouldn't be afraid of forgetting them. Oh. Written down, Subai took the paper in surprise and began to browse it with interest. There were 2 crooked words written on the wrinkled Painazetum paper, one was a hemp character and the other was a paper character. Not only were there words, but there were also words written on it. There is also a pattern, which is a drawing of something very similar to a bowl, followed by the number 4. What is this? Subai asked with a smile. This is the number of people who made porcelain. There are 4 people in total, Yu Ying said seriously. Fox-eared girl has no choice, because these are the only words she knows, and those 2 words were learned from the wizard before. Her memory is not as good as Shalan, so she can only use this method. Recorded. Although I don't know many Chinese characters, I still know the numbers. As long as I can understand what I write, it will be fine. Ha 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 ha, if you put it that way, this does look like porcelain. Subai was so cute by the other party's cute words. Woo, there are more later, Yu Ying said softly. Subai turned the paper over and saw several numbers crookedly written on the back. He put down the paper in confusion and asked, Huh? What are these numbers? I didn't know how to write the words carpenter and stonemason, so I just wrote the numbers. Yu Ying smiled and scratched the back of her head. Ha ha ha, bring me a pen and paper, and I'll teach you how to write, Subai said with a smile. The fox-eared lady, who didn't understand anything, was so cute, so she suddenly thought of this method. But it was precisely because of this that Subai felt that the spread of literacy in the tribe should really be faster. Please update for support and customization. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 367. Chapter 367, Why can't it be replaced? 2 more please. Customize. Yu Ying placed the banknotes on the table, her pink eyes showing anticipation. Whenever it is time to teach, Fox-ear girl is the happiest. She is naturally happy to be able to learn words. Woo, which word should we learn first? Yu Ying asked curiously. Let me teach you the word Zhang first. This is more difficult. Subai smiled and wrote the word craftsman on the paper. Yu Ying tilted her head and looked at the word and muttered, which, this word looks so strange. The fox-eared lady is not only unfamiliar with that character, but also has a very strange feeling. The overall structure of the word craftsman is a semi-enclosed structure, which is very different from the numbers that the fox-eared lady learned before. She is also surprised. Inevitable. Come on, try it. This word is a bit difficult, Subai said gently. For the fox-eared girl who has just started learning Chinese characters, this character is not simple, and there are certainly many strokes for her. Yu Ying held the quill, sat upright, and wrote on the paper. She copied it carefully. She closed her pink eyes slightly and said softly, which, this word is so difficult. The fox-eared lady directly copied the outer frame, and then wrote the word Jin in it. However, because the frame at the beginning was too narrow, the character Jin was also very small, and the overall look was crooked. And it's not very atmospheric either. Ha ha ha, that's not how it's written. Subai smiled. Fox-ear girl's calligraphy was really funny. Yu Ying put away her quill and muttered, which, how should I write it? So difficult. The fox-eared lady was really clumsy when writing. She didn't know how to write the first time she wrote. She hesitated for a long time before writing, and then she wrote like this. First we need to understand the structure of this word. Subai thought about it and decided to forget it. It was useless to say this, now you have to watch me write it first. He wrote the first stroke first, which was the horizontal line above the craftsman, and then started to write the words inside. This is the standard way of writing the word Zhang. Many people write the outer frame first, and then write the inner jin, which limits the size of the inner jin character. The overall writing feels very awkward and ugly, and it doesn't look like Chinese characters anymore. Okay, that's it, write it in order. Subai handed the quill to the fox-eared lady. Good Yu Ying took the quill and started to study seriously. After having the demonstration, she became more comfortable in writing. Although the first few words were still crooked, the last few words were written very well. The overall feeling is quite decent, and it looks square and square, similar to what Subai wrote. Wu, how did I write? Yu Ying asked with a smile. Subai nodded with satisfaction and praised, not bad, the writing is very good. I just need to practice it a few more times. But why is this word called craftsman? Can't it be replaced by something else? It feels so complicated, Yu Ying asked curiously. Fox-eared lady thought to herself, couldn't this character just be replaced with 2 or 3 strokes? Why does it have to be so complicated? Every Chinese character has its origin, and it took a long time to become what it is now, Subai said seriously. In fact, the word craftsman was first seen in the Warring States period. Its original meaning is carpentry, and by extension it refers to workers with specialized skills. At that time, the word craftsman was not what it is now. The overall impression is that it is a boxy piece. Square black blocks. The strokes of the black blocks are very dense. If they are not written well, they will all stick together. After a period of evolution, the word craftsman began to slowly change, and the second change it was slender. Then it returned to a dense shape, and after 4 or 5 changes, it was the simple word craftsman that we see now. In fact, this word seems to be very simple now, but for people from primitive tribes maybe I don't think so. So that's it. Wu, how do you write the wooden character? And stone characters? Yu Ying is also very curious about these 2 words. Come on, look at it carefully. These 2 words are not very difficult. Subai picked up the quill and started to demonstrate. He wrote the 2 characters wood and stone 1 stroke at a time. The strokes of these 2 characters were relatively simple. Wu, these 2 words are simple, I should be able to write them well, Yu Ying said confidently. The fox-eared lady confidently picked up the quill and started copying every stroke carefully. Don't press too hard when writing, just relax. Subai was about to poke a hole in the paper when he saw the fox-eared lady. If she didn't remind her, there would have been a big hole in the paper before the words were written. After Yu Ying realized it, she quickly relaxed her fingers. Indeed, the pressure with her fingers was too strong. She smiled awkwardly and said, I didn't pay attention for a while, all I paid attention to was that word. The fox-eared lady was afraid that she would make a mistake, so she focused all her attention on the pen and naturally used more force. Don't be nervous, take your time, it doesn't matter if you write well or poorly, the most important thing is to practice, just write more times and you will be fine, Subai warned. People who practice calligraphy for the first time don't need to be too eager for success. Just take your time. Being too anxious will be counterproductive. Wu, why are these 2 words called wood and stone? Can't it be called by another name? Yu Ying asked curiously. The fox-eared lady felt that these 2 words were very different from the wood and stone in her imagination. Don't you think it looks like a tree? There are branches and leaves on the top and roots on the bottom, which look like wooden characters. Subai paused and looked at the stone characters again, and said this stone character is also the same. Actually, these 2 characters are both hieroglyphics, characters in ancient oracle bone inscriptions. People at that time named characters with similar appearances. but in modern times, they slowly evolved into the simple characters they are now. Got it? It turns out that this is the case. There are so many stories in the text, Yu Ying said with great benefit. It can be said that Fox-Ear Girl is becoming more and more fond of words. Every day when she has free time, she will secretly practice the words she has learned before. Keep practicing until you get it. Subai waved his hand and said. Wu, you taught me how to write my name last time, and I have already learned it, Yu Ying said proudly. Oh? Then write it to me, Subai said expectantly, wanting to see the results of the fox-eared girl. Yu Ying picked up the quill and started writing seriously. Since she had been practicing for a long time, she could write the 2 words in one go. Got it? Second update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 368. Chapter 368, Hello. Thanks. You're welcome. 3 more requests for customization. Yu Ying wrote her name on the Painazetum paper very seriously, and asked happily how did I write? The fox-eared lady was very serious when writing her name. Of course, the express delivery will be faster, after all, I have been practicing for a long time. The writing is very good, it has improved a lot compared to the first time I wrote it, and I can practice other characters, Subai praised. The girl's handwriting is quite good. The handwriting is neat and the strokes are clear. It doesn't look like it was written by a first-time writer at all. Teach me other words. I really want to learn the words that has learned, Yu Ying said eagerly. The fox-eared lady wanted to learn to read so much because she thought it was so cool. People who can read are very powerful. And if you can read, you will definitely be able to help the witch a lot. This is also the reason why she desperately wants to be literate. What words do you want to learn? Subai asked curiously. It was the first time he saw the other party looking so eager. Any text will do, as long as it can help the witch, Yu Ying said seriously. Subai raised her eyebrows slightly. He didn't expect the girl to think of this, which made him a little surprised. He put away his expression, smiled slightly and said, literate is for yourself, not all for me. Do you know? Although I am definitely happy to know that I have the motivation for girls to learn, I hope that the other party will not think so and only have true love. Only in this way will I not be too tired when reading, and I will also be happy. I don't want the fox-eared lady to be in pain every time she learns to read. I see. Yu Ying nodded, her pink foxtail wagging all the time. Come on, let me teach you some basic words now. Of course, you will also use these words every day. Subai picked up the quill again. Good, Yu Ying responded expectantly. Swish swish. The quill held by Subai flew rapidly on the paper, making a constant rustling sound. After writing for a minute, he put away the pen and said, these are the words we usually use. There were several words written on the Painazetum paper, such as you, me, him, her, and some thank you, no words like you're welcome and good night. Yu Ying tilted her head and looked at the unfamiliar words on the paper, and asked what are these words? What do they mean? These 3 words are you, me, and him, which we often use in daily life. Subai pointed at the words on the paper and said. You, me, him. Yu Ying finally saw those words that she usually said. Well, you are this word, he is this word, and I am this word, Subai said with a smile. These words are used in daily life, such as conveying orders or writing letters. People in this era shouldn't be able to write letters, right? Let Subai do this. I'm a little confused. How can I convey the news without a letter? You know, if the information is well informed, it can bring about a different development for the tribe. It's just that you shouldn't think about it now, because even if you think about it, there is nothing you can do for the time being. To execute. I see. Yu Ying nodded with an educated look on her face, feeling that words were really magical. Subai pointed to another word and introduced, these 2 words are for good night. I know these two words. These are the two words Wu says good night to me every night, right? Yu Ying asked excitedly. Every time when he went to bed, Subai would be used to saying good night to Fox Ear Girl. At first, Fox Ear Girl didn't know the meaning of this word, but after explanation, she slowly understood it. Yes, these two words are the two words I say to you every night, Subai said with a smile. Wu, what are the two words for good morning? Yu Ying asked expectantly. Good morning are these two words. Subai pointed to the other two words and continued, and this one is good afternoon. Yu Ying nodded heavily, picked up the quill and started practicing on the Painazetum paper. She bit the feather of the quill and asked what do these two words mean? I only see the word you. The fox-eared lady only sees you. She only knows half of the words in this vocabulary. These two are hello, which is what two people say when they meet, Subai said softly. After two people meet, they have to say how are you. Yu Ying blinked her pink eyes in confusion. Primitive tribes are not like this. Everyone just nods slightly or smiles at each other. Not to mention strangers, they don't know how to say hello at all. Like what I see now, I'm a little surprised to say hello. This represents politeness, and people must be polite when dealing with each other, Subai said seriously. This is what he will popularize in the future. Civilized terms like these are meant to be known to everyone. Polite. What is politeness? Yu Ying heard unfamiliar words again. Politeness is like how we are now. When you talk to me, do you have a different tone from ahua? This is politeness, but it's the kind that's not said directly. Subai paused and continued. Hello and thank you are all polite words that can be heard. I understand, hello means greeting the other person, Yu Ying suddenly realized. Yes, thank you for this. Subai pointed to another word and said these two words are used to express gratitude. For example, I gave Sister Ahua a piece of meat, and then she said thank you to me. This is polite, right? Yu Ying asked curiously. Yes, this is polite and well understood. Subai was surprised at how smart a young girl was. Also, I helped Ahua make breakfast, and she said thank you to me. This is a gift. Is it right? Yu Ying continued to ask. Subai nodded with satisfaction and said that's absolutely correct. You understand it very well. I remember now. Yu Ying wrote this word on the paper several times and asked Wu, what about this word? These three words are welcome and should be said after someone says thank you to you, Subai said seriously. You should be serious when teaching, otherwise you will easily forget what you have learned. No, polite, this is the first time Yu Ying has heard such a strange word. It's really confusing to pronounce it. Ha 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 ha, Subai smiled heartily and said, you're welcome, no. You're welcome. You're welcome. He deliberately spoke very slowly, just to let the girl keep up with his own rhythm, so that the things that cannot be learned can be useful. You're welcome. Yu Ying overcame the problem of convoluted words and read out. Third update, please support and customize. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 369. Chapter 369, Girl with Long Golden Hair. 4 more please customize. Wow. Rumble. The rain fell from the sky like thousands of silver threads, and a row of water drops fell from the sky, like a beautiful bead curtain. The reserve warriors in the forest were still looking for the rain snake, and no one wanted to be at the bottom when time expired at night. Yanhua kept shaking the spear in her hand, ready to catch the cunning rain snake. There are already more than a dozen rain snakes in her wooden basket. Because they are difficult to find, the number has not increased. Where have they all been hiding? Yanhua murmured to herself. This number of rain snakes is still too few for the horned lady. Last year, she caught more than 20 rain snakes. Now there are only a dozen, and time it's already afternoon, not much time left. I wonder what other people's results are like. Anyway, I'm not worried about Alan, Yanhuananan said. The horned lady is more worried about herself now, but she is not worried about the cat-eared lady. The other party is so powerful. You'll be able to catch a lot of them. Tap tap tap. Yanhua stepped on the wet ground with her feet, and looked around carefully with her red eyes. He even half crouched to observe, for fear of missing some rain snakes hiding in tiny corners. Why are there so few this year? Wasn't there a lot in the past? Yanhua frowned and said to herself. During the rainy season last year, rain snakes were everywhere, and you could find them within a few steps. But now it seems that there is nothing, and it takes a lot of time to find a snake. A lot of time. Could he be hiding? Yanhua stood up straight and continued to murmur to himself, but that shouldn't be the case. Aren't you supposed to be out looking for food at this time? The rain snake's favorite food is the soil bugs that jump out of the ground, which are too delicious to eat. There are also tree cicadas on the trees, some rats and frogs, these are what they like to eat. And nowadays, there are these creatures everywhere, but I don't see a few rain snakes, which is a bit strange. Tap tap tap. After Yanhua walked a few steps, she jumped onto the branch, wanting to see if there were any new discoveries from a high place. But when the horned girl jumped up and hadn't looked at it for a while, something didn't look right on her expression. What is that? Yanhua saw a yellow thing in the distance. Although she said her eyesight was very good, it was too far away and she couldn't see very clearly. It seems like a person. Yanhua looked surprised, immediately put away her spear and moved forward quickly. Tap tap tap. 10 minutes later, the horned lady quickly came to the place where she had just seen the yellow figure on the tree. The yellow figure was lying motionless on the ground, with a lot of blood bleeding around it. This yellow figure is a girl with extremely long blonde hair that reaches her ankles. Her golden hair was scattered all over the floor, and the animal skin on her body was tiger skin. The whole thing looked yellow from a distance. Yanhua was stunned for a moment when she saw this scene, and immediately squatted down to see if the other party was dead or alive. It is certainly not easy for someone to lie motionless in the rain at this time, with blood all over the floor. At first, the horned girl was worried that the other party was pretending. After all, many people like to pretend to be weak in the forest and then snatch other people's food. She often heard her father talk about this, so she didn't know what to do at first. But I saw that the girl's long hair was wet from the rain, and the blood stains around her spread for a long distance. It seems that this girl has been lying in this pool of blood for a while, otherwise she wouldn't be like this. Hello, who are you? What's wrong with you? Yanhua asked tentatively. Seeing that the other party had not responded, she raised her head to see if the totem warriors around her were there. At this time, she needed to find someone for help. Why are you here? Did anyone come with you? Yanhua continued to push the other person gently with her hands. She found that the other person was still motionless, and he was bleeding a lot, so it seemed that his life was really in danger. The horned girl reached out to push aside the other person's long blonde hair. I want to see what she looks like. After the long golden hair is slowly pushed aside, a delicate and pretty face is revealed. The long golden curly eyelashes look very attractive, and the nose is also tall and matching. A pair of curved willow eyebrows, and thin lips without blood. If she returns to her usual state, she will be a great beauty. After all, she looks very good now. So beautiful, but how could it be hurt? Yanhua was also surprised by the appearance of the other party. She lowered her head and began to search, wanting to see where the wound on the golden-haired girl was. The horned lady searched for a while but still couldn't find where the wound was, but she didn't find it. Dare to move her easily. The wound was probably pressed under her body. What should I do now? Take it directly back to the tribe. Yanhua was very confused. Because she heard Yan Jiao say that after leaving the tribe, she would not bring any random meat to the tribe. She didn't know this blonde girl Niao Jiao. In addition, she was injured again, and there were no people around. The totem warrior appeared, and I didn't know what to do for a while. But if she ignores her words, her life will be in danger, right? There was so much blood left, and it felt so cold to the touch. Yanhua frowned. She couldn't care about so much anymore. She was so kind-hearted that she couldn't let anyone get hurt in front of her eyes, and she was still a girl. Niao Niang moved the wooden basket to a different position, as well as the spear. The spears were stuck and hung next to the wooden basket. She freed her entire back, and then slowly started to pull the blonde girl up. So light. Yanhua murmured to himself, and it took him more than a minute to hang the girl behind him. Every movement of the horned lady was very gentle, for fear of injuring the girl's wound. After all, she still didn't know where the wound was. Fourth update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 370. Chapter 370, Tentacles are cold. One more please customize. Tap tap tap. Behind Yanhua hung a blonde girl, heading in the direction of the tribe, and gave the other party the straw hat on her head. The rain from the sky was like a waterfall pouring down, and the horned girl's hair was soaked in a short time. Just hold on a little longer, Yanhua kept turning around and said. She didn't have a witch domino, nor had she awakened as a totem warrior, so even if she had a witch domino, she couldn't save the blonde girl. While carrying the blonde girl on her back, the horned lady also had to pay attention to the surrounding environment, holding her hand with one hand. Holding the girl in hand, she held a spear in one hand and was ready at any time. She didn't care about catching the rain snake anymore. She just hoped that no danger would appear at this moment, otherwise she would really have no time to care about it. You must be fine, you will be arriving at the tribe soon, Yanhua kept saying in a low voice. Niao Niang didn't want anything to happen to this girl, no matter where she came from. She also had no time to care about the rain falling from the world. The rain fell on her head and face, and slid down to her neck. I don't have any extra hands to wipe it off. Tap tap tap. Suddenly, there was a rush of footsteps approaching the horned lady, especially the sound of rain. Ahwa, what's wrong with you? Shalan jumped down from the tree and ran towards the horned girl. The cat-eared girl saw the horned girl on the tree far away. What made her curious was that the other party was walking very slowly. And there seemed to be people behind her. I was carrying someone on my back, so I ran over without stopping. I saw someone over there, she was hurt, Yanhua briefly told what happened. Shalan stepped forward and took a look behind Niao Niang, and said worriedly, but we don't know who this person is, so it wouldn't be good to take him back to the tribe, right? Cat-eared Niang remembered the chief's words, and her own my mother often said this too. What else to do? You can't just ignore her, can you? Yanhua was also helpless. How could she forget what her father said? Shalan also had a worried look on her face and said, anyway, let's take it back first. That's what I thought too. There's really nothing I can do about leaving her in the forest. Yanhua said seriously. No warriors from the tribe were seen nearby, otherwise they could have been taken back. Shalan said worriedly. The cat-eared girl has already hunted 30 rain snakes, and she can be said to be the first place. She doesn't care, but the horned girl still needs to continue to catch them. If she just takes them with her like this, if the blonde girl returns to the tribe, not only will she be scolded, but the results of the competition will also be very bad. It doesn't matter, I'll take it back and you can continue hunting the rain snake. Yanhua shook her head and said. No, I'll take it back and you can continue to capture it. Shalan looked serious and continued to ask, how many have you caught? There are more than a dozen of them. Anyway, I definitely can't surpass yours, so I'd better send them back and you can just keeping the first place, Yanhua said grandly. She just felt that one of them must be number one among the two of them, and he couldn't lose to others. You only have a dozen or so you have to continue to capture them. No one can surpass me for the time being. I will send them back first, and then they will come back again. Shaylin reached out to pick up the blonde girl. Shall we walk first? If someone from the tribe sees us, they will take it over. Yanhua suggested. Shaylin turned her blue eyes, nodded and said, okay, I'll help you check if there are any rain snakes on the way. It's still you, but it doesn't matter. Yanhua feels that it is not that important now. What is more important now is to send the person back to the tribe quickly. It seems that the other person's life is in danger. Tap tap tap. Wow. Rumble. The sound of footsteps, rain, and thunder kept ringing as the two kept moving in the direction of the tribe. During this period, the cat-eared girl has been catching rain snakes for the horned girl, and her expression is more serious than looking for her own rain snake. Rustling. There was a sound of rubbing leaves, and a black shadow jumped down from the tree. The black shadow was the totem warrior Yu. What happened? Who is injured? Yu asked with a frown. She had just seen the horned girl and the others. But the rabbit-eared girl frowned again, feeling that she had never seen the one behind the horned girl. Sister Yu, this person is injured and needs to be sent back to the tribe quickly, Yanhua said quickly. Her hands were already covered with blood, which was obviously the blood that had been flowing out of the other party's wound. Yu looked at the blonde girl behind the horned girl and asked, where did you find her? In the wide forest behind, she was lying there motionless. Yanhua pointed in the direction behind and said. Moon Detective brushed aside the long hair of the blonde girl, took a look and said, take her back. She is not a totem warrior, so the danger is not great. She originally didn't want to take this person back, after all, no one knew this person. But I felt relieved after seeing that he was not a totem warrior. Can I go back with Sister Yu? I'm a little worried. Yanhua asked worriedly. After all, he discovered this person himself, and he must still want to know what happened next. Yu shook his head and said seriously, the game is not over yet. If you come back with me, yes, will be punished. The rabbit-eared girl is quite serious in this aspect. Once you start, you have to start and finish. Ahwa, let's catch the rain snake quickly and wait until the game is over before going back, Shalan also persuaded. This is the tribe's rules and cannot be broken easily. What's more, the horned lady is still the daughter of the chief. I understand, then she will ask Sister Yu. Yanhua handed the blonde girl to the rabbit-eared girl. Yu took the blonde girl and found that the girl's body temperature had dropped and her tentacles felt cold. She frowned and said, I understand, she is not in good condition. That's right, I have to take it back quickly to pick up witches. We are still some distance away from the tribe. We can't waste any more time, otherwise the blonde girl's life will be in danger. Good, Yanhua immediately responded. Tap tap tap. Yanhua watched the rabbit-eared girl's leaving figure for a while, then said, Alan, will she be fine? It will definitely be fine, but why do you look so worried? Shalan asked curiously. I don't know, I just don't want anything to happen to her. Yanhua said kindly. Don't think too much. Sister Yu will be fine if she is sent back to the tribe. The most important thing now is to capture the rain snake. Shalan said seriously. Okay, I'm going to work hard. Yanhua calmed down her emotions and said. Please update for support and customization.